Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today I'm going to add one more thing to the list of things that I will never do again once XRP finally gets where I think it's going to go. The thing that I've already told you, I will not be unloading the dishwasher ever again. I'll have some kind of button or something I can push, an unload the dishwasher button. Well, last night I had to work on a school project. My son has some kind of a paper. He's doing a paper on the Beatles, and I was having to work with him on doing this school project. And I forgot how much I hate working on school projects. And so when XRP finally takes off, I may have a button that says school project because I've got my 7-year-old coming along. I'm going to be able to push that button, and I don't know if it will be a butler or what, but I'll have a school project button that I can push so that I never have to work on school projects again. I do not like it. It's high tension. Everybody ends up getting mad, and the kids end up crying and getting upset because they don't know what to do or can't think of what to say or whatever. Oh, so frustrating. So anyway, that's what's going on. Let's get to crypto. Okay, it looks like XRP pulled back just a little bit. This is what's been great. The last couple of weeks is XRP goes forward a penny and a half, then it pulls back a little bit, but not much, goes forward. It's been like a gradual rise, 2 steps forward, maybe 1 step, maybe a half a step back. That's the kind of market we like because that's a normal market. All right, and here's a look at fiat leak and where things are going right now. You can kind of see things can't seem kind of slow, but things might get fast very quickly because the CME Bitcoin futures hit 10K as Bitcoin price finally nears 5 figures. They crossed the 10K marks for swaths of institutional investors this week as the markets look increasingly likely to surge higher still. Data from CME shows Bitcoin futures shows the implied price of Bitcoin reaching the symbolic 5 figures on February 6th. Okay, so when you start seeing all of this, if we hit 10K, folks, watch the traditional. That gives the traditional financial media that headline number that they can really put headlines out with. That's how your real FOMO starts. Now, as we know, XRP has been performing well for the last 2 weeks. So just like clockwork, you can set your watch to it. The FUD articles begin coming out, and this is one of the FUD. This is one of the favorite FUD pieces that comes out every time XRP starts to go crazy, and that is that Ripple co-founder Jed McCaleb sold 1 billion XRP and has 4.7 billion left. Every single time XRP surges and starts to do well, someone writes an article like this. It's never while XRP is down. It's always once the price goes up. Make no mistake, folks. This Bitcoin XRP thing, this POW, proof of work, versus consensus thing, for many, not for all, but for many, this is a war, folks. Okay, so don't think for a minute. Now, in XRP's case, it's not going to matter. Look, if XRP is what we have talked about on this channel for over 1.5 years, which it is, if it is about volumes increasing the price over time, in other words, if we all came here because it is what we said it was, then FUD won't matter because it's going to increase on payment volumes anyway, and eventually the FUD people will get tired of trying to put out things that aren't effective in bringing the price back down. They don't want the price to exceed Bitcoin price because that's their worst nightmare. Unfortunately for them, it's just a matter of time because Bitcoin is the lesser of the two in terms of what is happening, in terms of utility, everything. So, but I just wanted to show you that, this article, I'll summarize it for you. They're trying to scare everyone into thinking Jed McCaleb has a bunch of XRP that he's going to dump on the market, thus destroying the price. And the truth of the matter is, Jed McCaleb's not stupid. Jed McCaleb, things may have been personal between Ripple and Jed McCaleb in 2016, but I can assure you, if Jed McCaleb sees that he's sitting on a moneymaker that's about to rise in price due to payment volumes or possibly a price set, then don't think for a minute he's no different than you and I. He's gonna do the smart thing. Because ultimately, it's like P. Diddy said, it's all about the Benjamins. That's just the way it works, folks. All right. Investment perspectives. Brad Combs put out an interesting poll. Who is the real Satoshi? The first choice is David Schwartz, 35.7%. Craig Wright is losing big time at 1.2%. The government at 42.9%. None of the above, 20.2%. Interesting, folks. Very interesting. Okay, now I've got something that you have to see. This is from someone named Keith Taubin at Master My Budget sent me this. Now, let's take a look at what this is. This is very interesting, folks. I want you to listen up really carefully because these guys are discussing what I've been discussing for over a year and a half. They're going to confirm for you everything I've been saying. So let's look at what these guys are. It says, when I first sat down with Grant Williams in 2017 in a series called The Dark Side of ETFs, Stephen Bregman, president and director of research of Horizon Kinetics, dissected the problematic consequences of passive investing and the potential bubble that has since only grown. In 2020, he has not changed his tune. Ultimately, Bregman and Michael Green debate the risks and fallacies of a market dynamic, which Bregman argues presents incredible opportunity for investments willing to risk crossing the ETF divide. This is filmed in January 2020 in New York City, I guess. Listen to the last 2 minutes of this, folks. Just sit back, relax, and listen to these 2 minutes. I'm going to turn it up for you. Here we go.
All right, can this actually wrap back around?
I think what's going to happen is there are going to be some serious social problems.
I agree.
When you see serious tumult in nations, social tumult, it really often follows when there's been currency debasement, loss of purchasing power, inability to live on your investments or your income. People get desperate. Then things change. Desperation. And we're heading in that direction just a lot more slowly than Greece or Venezuela.
I share those sentiments exactly.
So I have to mention one term that's necessary for anybody who I talk to hear whether they...
Hey, I wanted to pause it for a second. The guy literally buries his head in his face because everybody has been trained, oh no, cryptocurrency, it's this evil thing, but he literally wipes his face with his hand. It's like he's embarrassed to even say the word, but he's about to say it. Listen up close. He's about to say it because we've been telling the truth for over a year and a half on this channel, and these people are finally having to admit it. We've all been right all along. We own XRP, the greatest digital asset ever created, and he's talking about cryptocurrency, but we've been right. Sit tight. Here, listen to the rest of this.
Are willing to let me work with them on it or not is the ultimate hedge against currency debasement. It might never work, it might never be necessary, but it can save your financial future. And it can be done in such a small amount that it will never harm you if it doesn't work, which is a fixed issuance, meaning non-debasable cryptocurrency. Because if the time ever comes that people in various parts of the world feel they need a non-debasable currency, the returns can be on the order of hundreds of times your money.
I share those sentiments. Historically, it would be gold. We don't know if going forward it's going to be a crypto asset. But I agree with you that those types of nonlinear properties are become an important part of any asset allocation framework.
Well, there you go, folks. And guess what digital asset? There's only a handful that come in a limited amount. Bitcoin's one. XRP is one. There will never be more than 100 billion XRP. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. And people will lose their private keys. And so there will technically be less because once those keys are lost, those will never be found again. It's not gonna, they won't be back in the mix. That right there, you need to play for yourself. As I say, stamp it into your forehead. Play it for your family and friends. We're here. We're in the right place at the right time, and you're in the right digital asset. Ticket Attorney sent me this. Binance launches 13th phase of Binance lending products. 20 million BUSD at 8%, 20 million USDT at 6% APR, 500 million ERD at 15% APR. I'm not doing any of those type things, but you could if you wanted to. Michael at VAL5 Links, ICE CEO. New acquisition opens $1 trillion market for Bakkt. What this is about is this right here. Bakkt's acquisition of loyalty rewards company will expand Bakkt's presence across an asset class that today spans over $1 trillion in value. Speaking during their Q4 earnings call, Jeffrey Sprecher said the company's pending acquisition of Bridge2 Solutions will ultimately be acquired by the Bitcoin warehouse, will accelerate the second phase of our digital asset strategy. We began by building a regulated Bitcoin custody solution, as well as regulated futures and options on Bitcoin. The second phase includes a consumer-focused digital payments app Bakkt, first formally announced in October 2019. The next big hurdle for the company will be getting that app into the consumer hands, and we will be looking at consumer adoption more than revenue expense. Sprecher said, fortunately, that company is not a big drain on us. We have a lot of So anyway, you see what's happening, folks. Chinu Patel at Chinu Patel 29. This is a Coining 203 tweet. Looks like Intermex, who Ripple just partnered with, I believe, is using ODL in the USD Mexican peso corridor. And what he's showing you is a screenshot. Let's pull this up. Screenshot. Look at those fees right there. That can only mean Ripple and XRP right there, folks. Fees that are that cheap. And I think that's the point he's making. And then there's this. Olivia Vaz. JP Morgan employees were busted for manipulating markets. Now the authorities are going after the entire company. Now remember, Jamie Dimon, he's the one that has said that Bitcoin's a fraud and crypto is all a big joke and a fraud. And then he comes out with his own digital asset. Well, this is what him and his company have been up to.
JP Morgan might be part of a major market manipulation scam. First, 6 employees of the company were accused for precious metal spoofing. Spoofing, by the way, is when you place orders but cancel them to fool the market. But after further investigation, authorities are widening the case to the entire company. That will cost JP Morgan a hefty fine. No formal charges have been made yet. You're up to date on commodities. I'm Olivia.
So there you go. All right. And then there's this from Stewart XRP. Yesterday, we talked about how Warren Buffett had met with Justin Sun. And Stewart XRP made a good point here. Warren Buffett believes there is great potential in blockchain, and lots of his portfolio companies are exploring. His portfolio includes Bank of America, a Ripple customer, PNC Financial, a Ripple customer, American Express, a Ripple customer. Think these are coincidences, folks? Then we get this from Cinnamon Video. Another day, another update. Among other things, from today, you will be able to share your creations on social media with a convenient little share button and embedded videos on Twitter. Coil embedding coming soon. I like it. And then the crypto utility guy. Whenever someone makes me laugh, folks, especially on a Friday, I show it. And today, Crypto Utility Guy sent me some PolySign news that made me laugh. But before I cover any PolySign news, as all of you know on this channel, I have to do my PolySign whisper which comes to you from Mario Bozic. Here's the Polysign whisper. Okay, now you've had the Polysign whisper, and we can show you what made me laugh. We've all been talking about how huge Polysign is going to be, and so this article made me laugh out loud. From XRP to Standard Productions, confusing and deflating the digital asset and XRP investing world. San Francisco-based startup Polysign opened their highly anticipated business Thursday, revealing the completely unexpected news that they would be focused on selling ink pens. Founder Arthur Brito and David Schwartz, who were both also founders of the original XRP ledger, Polysign was eagerly awaited by many in the cryptocurrency world. I'm not sure where that rumor came from, said Schwartz, speaking to XRP Productions reporters in front of his display case of polycarbonate ink pen models that Polysign is focused on selling. Polysign has been and always will be about pens. The best damn pens money can buy. Thank you very much. So now we know what Polysign was all about. We all told you that Polysign was going to be a big deal for the history books, and now you have it. They're selling pens. And that is a periodic article, by the way, so that nobody freaks out. CoinDesk, Ethereum's next system-wide upgrade, Ethereum 2.0, won't launch in Q2 2020 as expected, but researchers remain confident the initial network parameters will deploy in 2020. Anything less would be considered a failure, they said. So we'll see what happens along these lines. This guy tweeted out something I thought was great. I don't believe that we'll see another investing opportunity like XRP in our generation. The time is now. Don't get left behind. I replied, I don't think your kids or grandkids will either, and I stand by it. And then the Ledger Nano S people tweeted out a great tweet about Warren Buffett also. Congratulations, Warren Buffett, on your first Bitcoin. I guess Justin's son must have given him one. To avoid losing it, we kindly recommend you to get a Ledger Nano from our Valentine's pack. You can give the extra Nano to Peter Schiff. Now, this is how you market things. And I want to remind you folks, in the description of all of my videos, there's a link where you can go to the Ledger, and until Valentine's Day, they are giving you a free Ledger Nano S if you buy a Ledger Nano X. Great deal. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family to go get a Ledger Nano S for free when you buy a Ledger Nano X in the description of all my videos. Thanks for listening. Have a good weekend.